All right, let's talk weather now with Pat. We've got a live look over NASA's Johnson Space Center near Kima. We can send a man to the moon, Pat, but we can't fix these allergies. What's up with that?
Oh my gosh, I know the allergy count is high, but you know what? It's getting better. It's better than it was last week. If you remember, we're in the extreme category. It's now starting to come down just a bit. That's going to continue, though, as we get into the next few days, as we get more of an eastward shift in the wind. So that north wind is what really does us in when it comes to the allergies. Temperatures still feel great outside right now, low to mid 80s for most of us, still hanging on to a few mid and upper 70s down towards the bay and as you get towards the coastal spots. But all in all, it's just going to be great as we go through the rest of the afternoon. A few high clouds still streaming in, mainly to the south. I think northern areas are seeing a little more sunshine right now. On the wider shot, you can see the clouds extend all the way back through the valley and into South Texas. These are all coming from Hurricane Orlene, which is making landfall here along the west coast of Mexico. That is not going to be an issue for us. That storm quickly falls apart as it interacts with the high terrain there through Mexico. As we get into tomorrow, could still see a few high clouds. Otherwise, though, it's sunny and warm. I think we work in more sunshine through the day on Tuesday, and that will be the trend here as we get into Wednesday. But notice the wind arrows now are coming more eastward than northeastward, so we get a little more of an influence off the Gulf. So a touch more humidity for the middle and the end part of the week. I'll show you that in just a second. Temperatures go up as well. We'll be in the mid 80s today, but once we get into tomorrow, all the way through the rest of the week, we're back to the upper 80s, so just a touch above normal. Could hit 90 then for Thursday and Friday, and then we're back below normal into the mid 80s again by the weekend. Like I mentioned, humidity creeps back up again. It's really nice out there today. It'll be nice again for tomorrow. And then it's not oppressive, stifling humidity. We'll be moderately humid here as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, and then the numbers drop off again by the end of the week and the weekend. So, not a bad stretch of weather coming up here. Just a noticeable jump in the humidity here for Thursday and Friday. Even with that, though, we stay dry. I mean, bone dry. Goose eggs for rain chances here all the way through the end of the week and the weekend. So let's talk tropics. There's Hurricane Orlene, again, making landfall here in Mexico. Clouds getting sheared off and thrown into our direction. Think of that as the exhaust from the storm. Not a big issue for us. The storm weakens here as we get into the day tomorrow. Aside from that, back in our side of the world, we've got not one, not two, but four tropical waves that we are watching here from the Gulf of Mexico, which is not going to be an issue, the Caribbean rather, not going to be an issue, to these three waves here across the main development region. This is a hot spot for development this time of year. So let's take a look at which ones the Hurricane Center is keeping an eye on. The most eastward one here, just to the south of Cape Verde, is expected to develop over the next 5 days. Good news though, the track takes it to the north, not going to be an issue for the United States. This one has medium odds of developing over the next 5 days as it drifts into the Caribbean, and this will be one worth watching. Right now, the spaghetti plots, the computer model simulations, take this on more of a westward track. Notice we don't see any of them going to the north, which is a good sign. And what's going to be steering that or pushing it towards the south is this big area of high pressure dives south from Canada, becomes established over the southeast, and that's going to push the system south and out towards the west. A word of caution, though. Look at where we are here. This is 7 days out, and a lot can change in 7 days. If that high shifts to the north or goes farther off towards the east, we could be talking about a different track for the system. So we are going to be watching it very carefully as we go through the next week. Otherwise, though, weather's really nice. Again, upper 80s to around 90 here as we get into the end of the week. A touch more humidity by Thursday and Friday, but lots of sunshine churning in. We don't talk about rain chances here for the next 7 days, and we're back to the mid 80s by Saturday and Sunday.